Hello everybody, welcome back to the table. Today we are taking a look at the Rough Ryder Reserve Nomad Folding Hunter. So this is their newest release from the Rough Ryder Reserve collection. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Reserve collection, the Rough Ryder brand of knives generally represents a low-end traditional folding knife category. They're all very inexpensive, but pretty good quality. They wanted to kind of up their game a bit, so they created the Reserve collection with a few limited patterns, and these are supposed to be higher fit and finish, higher quality than the run-of-the-mill Rough Ryder knives. So this is the 7th model they've produced, and the first one I think I made a video on. But this one, the Nomad Folding Hunter, is a lockback, so it is their first lockback model in the Rough Ryder Reserve collection. And it comes with a really nice style. That's why I picked this one up. I really like the design of it. We can see some really nice micarta scales on here. So we have the tan canvas micarta, and you can see the shield with the arrowhead. It's reflective. You can kind of see a mirror image in it, which is cool. The blade itself is 3.125 inches, D2 blade, satin finish. And unfortunately with the satin, it does pick up fingerprints like crazy, so you can see those on there already. But we have a really cool fuller right here. And they call it a comet style fuller because it's more narrow at this end and it kind of widens out like a comet. So cool little attention to detail like that. Rough Ryder Reserve logo on there. And on the rear we have the 007 D2 blade. And of course this is made in China. All Rough Ryder knives are made in China. So of course to get that, right out the gate. The bolsters are polished steel as well. And they're pretty nice. Everything is very flush and smooth on the handle, so that's kind of nice to see. The micarta scales are also very smooth because sometimes micarta gives you some texture. These ones are fairly smooth in my experience, so they're not going to be super for grip, but they do look very handsome. There are some grooves on the handle here to give your grip a good place to hold on to. And in terms of traditional knives, this is actually fairly large. So with the over 3-inch blade, most traditionals tend to come in a little bit smaller and more pocket friendly. Luckily though, it's not super heavy. So overall weight is 3.7 ounces on this knife, and I weighed it myself because they did not include the weight on any of the promotional materials or pages for this knife. So I had to do that myself when I bought it. But that being said, 3.7 ounces is not that bad for a steel bolstered lockback with brass liners. And taking a look in those liners, you can see how clean the construction is. A lot of time foreign knives, especially traditionals, come really gritty and disgusting on the interior, and they expect no one to notice, but this is nice and clean and shiny in there, so that's great. A nice part of the action of this knife, with this fuller right here, you can actually use it to open the knife one-handed, which is kind of cool, so nice action there. And unexpected for a lockback folder, we have a half stop, so we can see the blade stopping right there, and so that's an extra bit of security for you. We can see the back spring is a little bit protruding when it's in that position, but really not that bad for those who are interested in that. Centering is not great. It's kind of floppy. You can kind of push it around back and forth, and so when you do open the knife, there is a bit of side-to-side play. So and it's hard to see on camera, but it's there, and you can feel it if you're really looking for it. Up and down, there's nothing, but side to side, you can definitely feel a little bit of wiggle. It's hard to even, I doubt that the audio will even pick that up, but it's there. So I'm not sure if that's unique to this particular knife on my table, or if they're all like that, or I have had lockbacks with that type of rattle in it before, and I've also had lockbacks that are, bang vault tight. So it's hard to say. But that being said, this particular model, really nice D2 blade. I wanted to make some comparisons to some other similar traditionals on the table. So let's take a look at actually the very first Rough Ryder Reserve knife. This is the 001, the one-hand opener. And so this is what kind of sold me on the series when I bought this one, because the beautiful micarta, again, very smooth denim micarta there, clean construction. Everything was just nice and tight on this knife. And I know it's kind of a unique shape because it's a one-handed opener, but you can see a side-by-side comparison there. So pretty nice and similar in overall size, but of course the 007 is a bit larger. And this one is the traditional slip joint. Another lockback, though, this right here is actually fairly new. This is the Great Eastern Cutlery number 83, the Tascosa lockback. And this one is in that Mexican bocote wood. So really nicely done, very tight all around. You know, no side to side on this one. And you can see the size comparison because this one is meant to be a bit more petite. And again, most traditional knives do come in a bit smaller than what we're seeing with the Nomad. But again, very thin, very lightweight. That was the idea for this one. Both lockback knives. But I'm also comparing it to something a bit larger. We have also from Great Eastern Cutlery. This is the number 71 Bullnose. And this is in red micarta. So we can see that drop point side by side. Just a size comparison. And of course it's going to be thicker because of course it is a beefy slip joint in comparison. So the number 71 Bullnose. And kind of in the same vein, honestly, I just had it right here, so I decided to throw it in. We have a Case Sodbuster Junior. And this is the Halloween model. So it is very similar in size to that Bullnose, a little bit smaller, but still just side by side with the Nomad here. And of course, just like the Bullnose, these knives are meant to have nice, beefy, thick handles and a slip joint action. So pretty nice overall. But I just wanted to make some comparisons among the traditional realm. I do have some other more modern lockbacks, but I don't know if they would make a great comparison to this particular piece. Like I said, really my only complaint so far with this knife would be the little bit of play in the blade. Other than that, it's exactly kind of what I expected it to be. These Rough Ryder reserves, they come all in a tube with the cloth and a wax paper because they're trying to emulate essentially what Great Eastern Cutlery does in their packaging as well, and that's cool. It's all great. So I'm glad they're kind of stepping up their game a bit to make some high quality traditionals, and they're clean, they're nice. Are they worth 2 or 3 times the price as a regular Rough Ryder? You know, that's debatable. You know, that's definitely not for sure. But that being said, I do like to share this with everybody. So if you are interested in this knife, let me know what you think about it. If you have any questions that I forgot to answer here in this video, feel free to let me know. But that being said, have a great day, everyone. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. So have a great day. Bye-bye.